Today we're going to learn Bodekama Daf Pei Tes. So we discussed yesterday a situation where Adam come and say Reuven divorced his wife and he paid her Haksuva, and now we see that Reuven is still married to his wife and we find that his Adam was Zoimimim. So we said the Adam need to pay the wife how much is the value of the Ksuva now if she'd want to sell it for Tovas Hanor. For someone who wants to buy it on a risk that he'll only get it if the husband dies first or the husband divorced first before she dies. But if she dies, he won't get anything, the customer. That's called Tovas Hanor. And that's how much they were causing her to lose, because the whole ksuva, she's not getting a whole ksuva now. She's still married. That's how much the Eidim Zoimim need to pay. Said the Gemara, Omar Abaye, about next to places they are Maskil Peira. Tovas Hanor, this din of Tovas Hanor, oil v'osel yod, and since we came across it, name a b'milsa, let me say something about it. Tovas Hanor, who does this Tovas Hanor? When the Eidim Zoimim pay this Tovas Hanor to the woman, who does it go to? Leisha, Havia. The woman gets it, not her husband. The Isal Kedaitoch. La Baal Havia. If you think it goes to the husband, Leimur le'edim, the edim should tell the woman in this case when they made that she got divorced, and she got a ksuva and really she's still married. Ma'af sidinuch, what did we make you lose? If you would sell your Tovas Hanor, who would get this Tovas Hanor? Baal, the husband would get it. Baal have a shokl, your husband would take it, minoch, from you. Elomai, really, when a woman sells a ksuva b'Tovas Hanor, the money goes to her own pocket. And therefore, when the Eidim Zoimim made her lose that Tovas Hanor by saying that she's divorced, and she got a ksuva, and now she can't sell, like the Ikka din should be that she's still married and she could sell it for Tovas Hanor. So, because that's the damage it caused her, because the money goes to her for the Tovas Hanor. That's a bias raya. Omar Rav Shalman, no. Really, it could be if the Isha sells a ksuva for Tovas Hanor, the money goes to the husband. And why do the Eidim Zoimim have to pay the woman? Mishum de'ika revach beisa. If the husband's rich, if the woman sells a Tovas Hanor and the husband gets the money, so now he's going to take her out to a nice restaurant. He's going to buy nicer clothes. So even if the money goes to the husband, she gains from it. And therefore, if the Eidim Zoimim tried being mafsid her Tovas Hanor by saying she's divorced and she got a ksuva, they still need to pay the woman the Tovas Hanor. Even though there could be that goes straight to the Baal, but still the woman gains from it. Omar Rava, says Rava, Ilchesa, the halacha is Tovas Hanor, when a woman sells a ksuva for Tovas Hanor, leisha, goes to the woman. The Baal loichel peris, and you don't say that the keren is to the woman and the Baal eats a fruit, like Nichse Milug. My time, what's the reason? Peret kinu le Rabbanon, metaken peris of Nichse Milug that should go to the husband. Peret de peret, fruit of the fruit, meaning that the woman gets ksuba and she sells it and she gets money for that, that's the fruit of the fruit. I mean, the fruit that's going to come out that money, that's the fruit of the fruit. Loit kinu le Rabbanon. Rabbanon were not metaken that the husband gets that, and therefore a woman who sells a ksuva for Tovas Hanor, the full amount of money goes to her husband, and not to, goes to the woman and not to the husband. Ki also Rav Papa Rav Huna, when Rav Papa and Rav Huna, brother of Yeshua, came from where? From Ibei Rav, from the base medrash of Rav, Omri Tanina le Takonas Isha. We learned in our Mishnah by us in Bobekama the din of Takonas Usha. Let's just repeat and say what Takonas Usha is. Takonas Usha is a Isha shemorcha nichse milug b'chaya balo, a woman who sold these property that she brought into the marriage, that the husband eats the fruit and she keeps the keren, the capital, if she sold it, and then she dies before the husband, so the husband gets this karka. That's Takonas Usha. So now we're saying from our Mishnah Bayas, we could learn that there is Takonas Usha. And really, the whole Gemara from Peichesam and Aleph at the bottom that started the story about Ine de Shmuel, etc., and we went in Kinen Periski, Kinen Nagufa Not, is all coming to this point that we have a raya from our Mishnah to this sugya. Because says Rav Papa and Rav Huna, how do we see in our Mishnah that there is Takonas Usha? because it says a Eved, a slave, a Isha, and a woman, P'kiyosam Ra, don't mess with them, if you hurt them, chayev, you need to pay. If they harm other people, if a woman or a slave harm other people, p'turim, because they don't have money. So says what's the right from here? If you think there's no such a thing as takonas usha, has been nichse milug v'titenlei. Why can't the woman sell her nichse milug and get the money and pay off the damage she's caused? Elomai, there is takonas usha, and therefore if she sells and she dies, it's going to not go to the loikach, so it's not really worth money. So we could see that's why she doesn't sell a nechosim. So we could see there is such a thing as takonas usha, and that's why Isha doesn't have to pay for the damage she's caused. Says the Gemara, lefi what you were saying, nehinami de'ise letakonas usha. Very good, we have takonas usha, ve'lo imotzi mezabno legamri, and she can't sell hanichse milug totally, because takonas usha stops that. Taz bele nichse milug betoy vasano v'titenlei. But for sure you could sell, even after takonas usha, for the toy vasano, like we said, that he's taking a risk. If she dies first, the loikach's gonna lose it, and if he dies first, the husband, or she divorces her, the loikach's gonna get. Yes, very good, it's worth much less money because it's besophic, but still it's worth money. Elo, what are you gonna tell me? The leslo, that the Mishnah's talking about a case where a woman doesn't have nichse milug. Ochinami also, legabei takonas usha. You know why there's no raya from the Mishnah about takonas usha? The lesle, the Mishnah's talking about where she has no nichse milug. But ochinami, if she'd have nichse milug, maybe she could sell it and get the full amount, and really there's no takonas usha, so you don't have no raya from our Mishnah about takonas usha. Ask the Gemara Shaila, v'tazbin ksuvasa b'toy v'sano. Very good, a woman, maybe she doesn't have nichse milug, but there's one thing that every woman must have, and that's a ksuva, obligation of the husband, that if he divorces her, he's going to give her a certain amount of money. So the chura, she could sell that schus, that right of the ksuva, and sell it on, and she'll get money. Why shouldn't she pay? Why in the Mishnah it says p'kiyosam ra, that woman doesn't have to pay? She should have to sell a ksuva and pay off the damage she's caused. B'titinlei, says the Gemara, money. Who's our Mishnah or me? Our Mishnah the Oma, he holds also le'odom, a person's forbidden she'ishes ishtoi to live with his wife afilu shoachas, even one moment below ksuva, without having a ksuva. So if the woman's going to sell a ksuva to pay off the damage she's caused, she won't have a ksuva. So therefore, you can't sell the ksuva. Ask a more question. What's the time of Rameh that you're not allowed to live without a ksuva? Because if a person doesn't have a money penalty, if he divorces his wife, one day he'll come home angry and he'll just divorce his wife because it doesn't cost him anything. But if it costs him a big sum of money, he'll think twice and three times before he does so. But over here, even if the woman will sell a ksuva, the husband won't divorce her. Why? If he divorces her, Hotu Anoch will come the people, the Zabni, who bought the ksuva from the woman, and Gobul the ksuva sign and say, oh, time to pay us the ksuva, we bought the ksuva off the woman. So it will still cost him a penalty of money, so he still won't want to divorce his wife so easily. He'll think about it twice. Mine, from him. So it doesn't make sense that the Mishnahs are male, because even if the Mishnahs are male, you're not allowed to live with a ksuva. In a case where a woman sold a ksuva, he still has the same power that he won't want to divorce her because it's going to cost him money. Elo, we're saying a lupshat. Why in the Mishnah we don't sell the ksuva? Elo, toivasano mili ninu. Toivasano, if a woman sells a ksuva just alatzad that she dies later or her husband divorces her, is not physical ownership that he could literally sell. It's mili, it's only words. Umili lo mishtabdi. And words are not meshubad to the nezek that she caused. So she caused damage, but they're not meshubad to the choiv. So the Gemara lomoloi, why not? Mili de mizdabni b'dinari ninu. This is words that you could sell for value. You could sell these words, this ksuba, even though that's not a mamoshus of a ownership, but since it has a value, and you could sell it, so l'chora, you have to sell it to pay off your choiv that you caused damage. Why not? Why should be no mechuyev to sell the ksuba to pay off the damage you caused? Elo mishum de Shmuel. We're saying a new reason why in the Mishnah a woman doesn't have to sell a ksuva to pay off the damage she's caused. Dama Shmuel says, Reuven is owed money. By Shimon, Reuven is a malve, Shimon is a loiva, and it says here in the star that Shimon owes Reuven $1,000. So, and then Reuven goes and sells the star lechaverero to Levi. He says, Levi, I'm going to sell you the star. Shimon owes me $1,000. Give me now $800 cash. Take this loan, and then when Shimon pays, he'll pay you, and he'll pay you $1,000. V'chozer mochloi, after he sold it to Levi. Now Reuven said, Shimon, he met Shimon and tells him, I'm mochel you. You don't owe me money. The din is mochul because Shimon owes the money to Reuven and not to Levi. Obviously, the schus of Reuven he passed over to Levi, but Shimon owes to Reuven, and Reuven was mochel. So that's it. Shimon doesn't owe anything anymore to anyone. V'afilu Yerush mochel, even if Reuven's people who Yerushim, who's Yerushim, Reuven's son was Yerushim, and he was moichel this choiv to Shimon, it works. V'afilu Yerush moichel, it works. So therefore, the Gemara is saying, the reason why we don't want to we don't tell this woman who caused damage to someone to sell a ksuva because she can be moichel. And therefore, she lose it. The person who will buy the ksuva won't get anything. Said the Gemara, Zvunit has been, she should sell it, and she should pay off the choiv with the money she gets to the person she caused damage to. If she was moichel the baal for the ksuva, timchele, she'll be moichelet, but she got money for it now, and now she has to pay the damage she's caused. If she's moichel afterwards, what do we care? So the Gemara, Amri, koleg abe baal, since she's by her husband, vaday mochlele, she'll for sure be moichelet to him. V'afsedinu le'auzevina be'odayim le'afsedinu. We Bezdin are not going to force her to sell a ksuva to pay her off the damage she's caused, because we know once she sells a ksuva, she'll be moichelet to her husband, and then this guy is going to lose. So we're making her sell something that really doesn't have any value, because the guy who's going to buy it is going to lose everything, because she'll be moichel him afterwards. She'll moichel to her husband, and therefore the husband won't have to pay this person, and therefore this person will lose. So we don't do that. And if you're going to tell me, let her, she damaged, this lady caused damage to Yehuda, let's say. And now she doesn't have money to pay because she's a married woman. Let her give Yehuda the ksuba that's owed to her by her husband, and that will be the payment. She should sell it to him, the one who she caused damage to, Yehuda, for the value that it's worth if she dies later, or if he divorces her. If now she'll be moichel to the husband and say, you don't have to pay me ksuba. Yehuda won't lose anything. Yehuda didn't get any payments for his damage that was caused by this woman. So if you give him the ksuva, the only win situation, there's no lose situation. It could be that she won't be moichel to her husband, and therefore he'll get the ksuva eventually. And it could be she'll be moichel to her husband and he won't get anything. But anyway, now he's not getting anything. So the Gemara is soif, at the end of the day, because she's still married to the husband, she'll for sure be moichel to him. We don't bother, Bezdin doesn't bother to do a psak that doesn't help anything. Since the woman who's going to give it to Yehuda, Haksuva, Toivas Hanov Ksuva to Yehuda, we know eventually for sure she'll be moichel her husband on this Ksuva. So why should Bezdin even bother dealing over here? It's giving nothing to Yehuda. So we wanted to understand in our Mishnah what's pshat. A woman is potter from nezek. Why does she not have to sell a ksuva? And nichse we said she doesn't have. But why doesn't she have to sell a ksuva b'toivas hano and pay off the nezek, the teretz, and the maskona, because she'll be moichelit, and therefore we don't get involved in these transactions that have no value in it. So the Gemara kasha from somewhere else. So the Gemara elo. Hodetanya, that we learned in a brisa, a woman who hurt her husband, lo yifsida ksuvosa, she doesn't lose a ksuva, amai, why not? Has been ninu ne'alei, she should sell it to her husband, the ksuva, leksuvosa lebalo, to her husband, betoivas hano, and the value that if she gets divorced, or if she dies later, that he doesn't have to pay the ksuva. Bahachavola as a payment for the damage she caused him. What did we say until before that? Why we don't sell the ksuva is because we don't want, because she'll be moichel. But over here, if she'll be moichel to the Baal, lekep seida, he's not losing anything because he's gaining. They doesn't have to pay. Normally, if she sells it to someone else, she'll be moichel the choiv to the Baal, and then the Baal won't have to pay. But here, the Baal himself bought the ksuva, so if she's moichel, he wins anyway. Whatever happens, he wins. Why does she not have to pay? So the Gemara, Havadai, this price is for sure a mehi. The Omar, like we said in Amud Aleph, Asul Adam is forbidden for a person, she'isha im ishtoi, she'isha is ishtoi, that he should be with his wife, afilu sho'achas, even 1 moment below ksuva, without a ksuva, without a money obligation if he divorces her. V'tam, man, what's the reason why you're not allowed to live without a ksuva? That if he comes home angry from work, you shouldn't just divorce her. It should cost him a lot of money, so you should think twice. Hacha, over here, if she sells him the ksuva, that means if he divorces her, who does he need to pay? He needs to pay himself. Hacha megarashlo. He'll divorce her. The gobele bechabele. Instead of paying her ksuva, he'll say, "Oh, you owe me money you told me the ksuva for the damage you caused me, and therefore I keep the money in my own pocket and I don't have to pay you anything. And therefore, I'm not going to be scared to divorce. The man's going to divorce his wife very easily, and we don't want a man to have an option to divorce his wife easily. We want him to think about it before he does such a drastical move." The gobele bechabele. So said the Gemara, so that's why the woman doesn't sell the ksuva to her husband to pay off the chabola. Said the Gemara, Yochi, if so, that's the reason. Ashtanami, even now that she doesn't have to pay, Megarish law, he has no problem to divorce her since the woman bashed up the husband and she owes him money now. So one normally stops him to get divorced because he doesn't want to pay the ksuva, but he'll divorce her and then he needs to pay the ksuva. No, and she owes him money for the damage she caused when she couldn't pay. But now she has money from a ksuva to pay, so she has to pay the damage she caused. So he will divorce her easily, and he won't have to pay anything because she owes him as well money like he owes her. Because he owes her the ksuva and she owes him the damage that happened. So therefore he'll divorce her easily. What's going to stop him from divorcing her? There's no money obligation. Says the Gemara, Teretz, kigoin de nofish ksuvoso. It's talking about where her ksuva is a big amount. Let's say ksuva is £1,000 or £100,000, and the damage that she caused him is £1,000. So if the husband's going to divorce her, very good, £1,000 he deserves for the punch he got, but he still has to pay £99,000 to the woman for ksuva. So he'll think twice before he divorces her. The mishuma upuruta, for that £1,000 of the damage, loy mafsi tuva, he won't lose his whole £99,000 of the ksuva. Said the Gemara, ve'idin efisha ksuva miksuva so deraisa. Ksuva deraisa is mone for almona and mosayin 200 zuz for psula. Says the Gemara, if the ksuva, let's say she has a big ksuva, not only mosayin zuz, it's 1,000 zuz extra than the basic she needs to get. Nukma ksuva deraisa. Let's say we leave by her 200 zuz of ksuva. The other 800 zuz that's extra in a ksuva, tizbane ne'alei bechabli. The woman should pay off to her husband for the damage he caused. She should have to sell it to her husband b'toiva sano for the damage he's caused him, that he should get paid. So the Gemara, so why does it say in the Mishnah that she doesn't have to pay her husband when she caused him damage? So the Gemara, kigon deloi nafisha ksuva so miksuva deraisa. It's talking about a case where the ksuva is only the basic, like it says in the Torah, the avle chable abrazuzi, her damage, and I'm going to explain a bit like Tosfos says, it's 4 sela. That's 4. Each sela is 4 zuz, so 4 times 4 is 16. So the damage is 16. The mishum arbra zuzi, for that 4 sela, Loi mafsid 25, and her ksuva utuma almona is 25 sela, that's 100 zuz. That means if the damage is 16 and the ksuva is 100, so you can't sell the extra over 100 because there's no extra ksuva, and a person won't divorce his wife and say, oh, I don't mind because anyway she owes me money because she only owes him 16, but he needs to pay 100, so he still will need to pay 84. So he'll think twice before he divorces her. So again, we had the kasha. It said a woman who damaged her husband, did a chavola to her husband, she doesn't need to pay. So we're saying it's talking about Ramea, and it's talking about specifically in a case where ksuva is very minimum, and the damage is less than the ksuva. As a more another kasha, Eloho the Tanya, that what we learned, Kishem Shaloim Timko very tachtov, like a woman should not sell her ksuva when she's still married, Kachloi Tafsid ve tachtov. The same, if she damaged anyone, she doesn't lose anything from a ksuva. If a woman causes a chavola to anyone, she doesn't lose anything from a ksuva. That's how the Gemara understands now in the Havamina. Said the Gemara, why is that so? V'hozimnim, at times, mashkachas lo, it could happen a case, the mafsedo, that she lose a ksuva. Ve'echidomi, what's the case? Let's say her ksuva is bigger than a ksuva deraisa. Ksuva deraisa of a psula is 200 and her ksuva is 1,000. And in that case, when she causes damage, she has to sell the 800 that's above the ksuva deraisa to her husband or to someone else, and therefore pay off her choiv. Why did it say that no chance a woman doesn't lose a ksuva for chavola she caused? No, there is a case where ksuva is bigger than ksuva deraisa, that she could sell the extra part and she needs to pay. Omar Rava says, Rava, no, you didn't understand this brisa. That it says, Kachloi tafsid sheitachtov. It means something else. Seifa, where it says, Kashem sheloi tafsid sheitachtov, it means a son, it's talking about like ksubas bonim dichrin. For her male sons, a ksuva for male sons. What does that mean? Ksubas bonim dichrin is a term that means that if a woman, let's say Reuven's married to two, let's say Yaakov is married to two wives. One is called Rachel and one is called Leah. Now Rachel he loves very much, he fell in love with her. He gave her a ksuva of $1 million. And then Leah, he didn't love so much, he was a bit forced into marrying her, and he only gave her a ksuva of $100,000. And now both Rachel and both Leah die before Yaakov dies. And now Yaakov dies. And l'chora, he has 12 kids, Reuven, Shimon, all the Shvatim are Yerushim. So l'chora, he split it, Reuven gets double, and all the rest get the same. L'chora, that should be the pashtus. The chiddush of ksuvas bonim dichrin means that even if the woman dies, b'chayei bailo, when the husband dies, her sons, her bonim dichrin, her male sons, will get a ksuva before you split off the Yerusha. So first, Yaakov, when he passes away, gives Rachel's kids, Yosef and Binyamin, $1 million, and then all the other kids of Leah, the 6 Shvatim of Leah, get $100,000 split into 6, and then all the other 12 altogether, Yerush Yaakov all the rest of his money, all his billions. But first, the sons get the mother's ksuva first. That's called ksubas bodim dichrin, a ksuba of the male sons. So we say like this. Omar Rava Seifa, it's talking about a son ksuvas bonim dichrin v'ochikton, and this is what it means. Keshem shamu cheres ksuvas alacherim, like a woman who sells a ksuva to other people. So let's say Rachel sold a ksuva to a foreigner. Lo yifsid ksuvas bonim dichrin. If now she dies first, so the loikeach, the customer who bought off Rachel the ksuva, doesn't get anything, and now Yaakov dies. So we still say that the sons get her ksuva, even though that she sold the ksuva, her sons still get a ksuva in such a case. My time, and what's the reason? The reason why she sold the ksuva, she was desperate for money, but she didn't lose her right for her sons to get a ksuva. Kach, the same, a woman who sells haksuva to her husband, and now she dies and then her husband dies, lo yifsid haksuvas bonim dichrin. Her sons from her will get first the ksuva from the Yerusha, and then you split the rest of Yerusha between everyone. My time, what's the reason? Zuzei, Huda, and Tzur. The money is forced her to sell. And therefore, Ksuvas Bonim Dichron, you don't lose in such a case. Shkoyach, everyone should have a very nice, mutzlach day.